Hey guys, Tawny here. Today I'm going to be doing my January book haul, and I know this is really late into January to be doing a book haul, but I've literally been buying books up until now, and I've kind of just decided that I can't buy anymore until I read these because it's kind of a lot. So yeah, I don't know, it's a problem. It really is. It's just bad. I think it's something like 10 or 11 books. Alright. Anyways, I'm excited. I'm glad that I have them. It makes me feel a little bit better knowing that they're in my possession and I won't have to hunt them down whenever I want to read them. So let's go ahead and get started. These aren't in order of purchase or anything or in order of importance. I just have them in a random pile. So this is the first book that I have, which is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, and I honestly don't know too much about this book. I saw another booktuber talking about it, and it just kind of made me really excited to want to read it because they had heard from somebody that it was really great, and I don't read too much contemporary. It's not something that I get really excited to read, but after reading The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, I'm really excited to kind of venture out into this genre a little bit more, and I think that this will be a really great read. From the sounds of it, it seems really fun and kind of like a lighthearted read, and I mean, it doesn't really give you too much information, but I think the Me is Greg Gaines. Earl is one of his best friends, and it makes it seem like one of his only friends. And then his mom makes him go out and kind of be social, I think, and that's when he meets the dying girl. She has cancer, and that's not a spoiler. It's on the inside flap of the book. So I'm really excited to read this, especially not knowing too much about it. I think it'll be a really fun, kind of quick read. I think it's no more than, 300 pages. So I'm excited, and I got it for half off at Chamberlain's. So originally it was about $17, and I paid about $8.50 for it. So I am excited, and the undercover is actually really cool. It's got me, Earl, and the dying girl, on the front, and then the spine's really cool too. I don't know, it's just, I like the black and green. It looks spiffy. This next book I am super excited for. Woody from Woody Novels has raved about it, as well as Reagan, I believe, and Jesse from Jesse the Reader. So I am super excited. I can't wait to read this, and it is Miss Peregrines Home for Peculiar Children. And I think that this is going to be such a cool read. It does look creepy, but Jesse said that it wasn't really. He went into it expecting it to be kind of creepy, and then it wasn't. So I'm not going into this with a creepy mindset because, I don't know, I don't want it to be disappointing. So I am super excited for this novel, and as I don't really know too much about this either. It's just because other people recommended it, so I was like, yeah, I'll get it. And again, it was half off, so instead of 18 I paid about 9. So go Chamberlain's for being super cheap with books. This book basically is about a 16-year-old boy who, like, a tragedy happens in his life or something like that, and he ends up going to this island and walking through the abandoned house. So I think this will be a cool read. Maybe not necessarily spooky or creepy, but a little suspenseful. Maybe. I don't know. But the cover's really cool, and the inside of the book, the very front pages, are all neat and antique-y looking. And then, how cool. Look. Isn't that neat? It says Alma Lefray Peregrine. So, yeah. That's pretty exciting. I think this is a really classy book cover for the underneath, and I'm excited to read this. The third book on my book haul list is Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King. Now, Ariel Bissett was raving about this book, and she says that A.S. King is one of her favorite authors of all times. So I figured I would pick this up and try it, and it was 10% off at Chamberlain's. So I had to pick it up. I mean, I was there with my best friend, And she was all, yeah, sure, get it. If it looks good, if you think you'll read it. And I was like, but I already have 3 books. And at that point, I'd already had 3 books. And so then I picked up another one. And so now I have it. And I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I'm excited that I have it. This novel it sounds to kind of be like a coming-of-age deal. This boy, his name is Lucky Linderman. I think it's a boy. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it's a boy. And he is a subject of somebody's bullying, and it kind of just goes through his walk through that kind of thing and helping him deal with himself personally and kind of finding his way. So I'm really starting to love these kind of books, the ones that kind of show you your true self and how strong and wonderful you actually are. So I think this will be an awesome read, and I've heard a lot of good things about A.S. King, so hopefully this will be a great novel into his writing and his stories. This 4th book, it will be my first really kind of fantasy sci-fi novel, so I'm really excited. I've read things that are kind of in that genre, but not full-on super fantasy. So with no further ado, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I have heard so many people talking about this, and I figured to start out my journey through the sci-fi fantasy world, this novel would be perfect because, again, like I said, I've heard so many amazing things about this, and I'm really excited to get started on it. Basically, there is a 17-year-old girl, I believe, and her name is Selena, and she is one of the world's most, or well, at this point in time, the world's most well-known, feared assassin, and she ends up getting captured and taken to one of these, almost like a death camp, really, but she gets captured and taken there, and then the king decides he wants a assassin, and so he picks, like 13, I think, maybe. He picks like a group of people to kind of combat and fight for their right to be a part of the kingdom and be his own personal assassin. And from what I can tell from the back of the cover, she gets sponsored by the king's son, so the prince, and that's about all that I know, but it sounds good enough to me. I'm excited for this, and I can't wait to read it. I think I might actually be reading it in February, so I will let you know. The 5th book that I bought off of Amazon, and it was an impulse buy because it was like $4, and so I was like, I have to, so I did, and that would be The Hunt by Andrew Fukuda. And this book actually sounds really cool. It's a really neat premise. It's about vampires, but not in the general terms. In this book, vampires are the ones that rule the world. So humans are kind of their, basically, blood banks, and they're hunted. And this guy, Gene, basically has fooled all of the vampires at this point, and they all think that he is one of them. And then he gets chosen to go on this mission, and he's really just trying to keep himself undercover. And I think he finds and falls in love with somebody from the back of the cover. That's what I'm gathering. So I think this will be really interesting. I haven't read a novel where the roles have kind of been reversed, so it will be neat to see how he deals with trying to trick the vampires, because I feel like that would be really hard to do. Because, I mean, can't they, like, sense your blood pumping? I don't know. So I can't wait to read this. It should be a quick read because it's about 300 pages, I think. And I've kind of heard mixed reviews about this. People have said that if you like the Hunger Games, you'll like this. And I did like the Hunger Games, so I'm hoping that this will be similar, but kind of unique at the same time. So excited for this. 5th book on the book haul. Yay! This next book I was so excited for. My mom actually bought it for me, and I can't wait for it because I just finished the 2nd novel in the series, and so I'm really excited to have the 3rd one in my possession so I can read it whenever I want to, and that is The Titan's Curse by Riordan. And this is the third installment in Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. So I cannot wait for this because I think it's going to be super fun. And the second book was even better than the first book. So I'm hoping that the series just gradually gets better and better. I'm super excited for this. I haven't read the back of it, and that's just because I don't really want to spoil anything for myself. I don't know what it's about, but I think I will love it. So that's the 6th book. This next book I bought, and I've actually already done a review on my channel for, and that is The Eternal Ones by Kristen Miller. This book, it was an okay read. It wasn't something I was super excited for. I don't know if I'll ever read it again, but it was kind of nice. It was a nice little change of pace. I keep finding myself thinking about the characters and wondering what's going on with them, so yeah. I think I might end up buying the second book, but not for a while because, like I said, I have too many already to read. So, yeah. This book was another impulse buy, and I don't know. I mean, I've started the Mortal Instruments series, and I just finished the 3rd novel. The review is up on my channel, so go check it out. And I'm not really anywhere close to this series, so I don't know why I picked this up. I guess because it was half off at Chamberlain's, and Chamberlain's knows exactly how to, like, hit my heart and be like, buy me! Buy me! You know you want me! That's what I feel like every book is doing when I walk in Chamberlain's. But that book is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, and I've heard that this installment of the series is so great because it is a new series, the Infernal Devices, but it's a companion series, so, and like a prequel. So I'm excited to get started on it, and I don't know if I should finish the Mortal Instruments and then read this, or if I should stop where I'm at in the Mortal Instruments, read this, and then go back. But I think that I'll probably just wait, and so that's why I don't know why I bought it. But, you know, instead of paying the $11 that it is, I paid $5.50. So there's math. Yeah. And I haven't read the back of this, but I know that there are main characters like Will and Tessa, and that's just from Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So yes, but I'm very excited to read this. I think it's going to be a really fun read, and it'll be really cool to kind of see where everything started. This book, I read the first book this month, and it was absolutely fantastic, and so I was just like, okay, so I have to buy the next one now, because Books A Million has a section of torture where they have YA novels on sale for like ridiculous amounts. So I got the sequel book to Unwind, which is Unholy, and it's by Neal Shusterman, and it was only $4.97. I mean, how could I pass that up? I can't. I couldn't. So this is what happens. I end up with like in between 9 and 12 books, and that's that. So yeah. And this book is basically just a continuation of the first one, but I believe that it kind of follows some other characters also. So not only is it Connor, Lev, and Risa, but it's a couple of other people, and we kind of get to see what happens after the whole tragedy at the harvest camp. So I'm really excited because I think it'll be neat to see where they all kind of go and what people end up staying together, and because it sounds really cool, I'll read it to you. One of them will be betrayed, one of them will go on the run, and one of them will cross paths with Cam, a teen who doesn't exist, and make a startling discovery about the truth behind unwinding. So, I mean, how could I not pick it up? I probably shouldn't have, but I did. And that, guys, is the end of the physical books that I have. I have 2 books that, one is online that I don't remember the name of, but I'll put it down in that little area down there so you guys can at least see it. And then the other book is Ruby Red, and I am loving that so far. I'm actually reading that right now, and it's so good. I can't wait to do my review of it. And it's actually a bit different than I was expecting it to be. So I'm excited, and I like it. And I can't wait to review it for you guys. But that is the end of this book haul. Thanks for sticking through it with me. It was super long, and I love you guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye!